If you have an early generation M1 MacBook Pro, like this one, there's a good chance that Apple will basically just give you an M5 MacBook Air. I think I stumbled onto something crazy, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy basking in the apparently totally legitimate generosity of a multi-billion-dollar corporation, hi Mr. Cook. I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. Now, if you're a regular viewer of Action Retro, you might be wondering why we're here talking about an M1 MacBook Pro. But I think that this thing is retro, or nearly. It's a 2021 model, that's 5 years ago, half a decade. There were times in history when Apple basically abandoned top-of-the-line hardware after less than that. Here's to you, Power Mac G5 owners. But on a whim, I ran the serial number of my daily driver M1 Max MacBook Pro through Apple's trade-in estimator, and holy Okay, so this all started when I thought, hey, I should buy a MacBook Neo for fun and shenanigans. Take out a nice Citrus, of course, base model, and I clicked add a trade-in out of curiosity, and decided to add my M1 Max MacBook Pro, which is my daily driver machine. I put my serial number in here. That's me. Everything works. It's in good shape, sure is. $1,220 for a 5-year-old MacBook Pro? How much does an M5 MacBook Air cost? That is freaking unbelievable. I mean, there was a time when a 5-year-old computer might as well have been from the Stone Age. You were upgrading your PC every year or 2 years. And now Apple is saying this 5-year-old MacBook Pro is still worth $1,220 to them. That's freaking incredible. So, of course, I went into the MacBook Air lineup. M5 MacBook Air is going to be a heck of an upgrade over an M1 Max MacBook Pro. I mean, it's gonna be like day and night. The M5 is just so much more powerful, and it starts at $1,099. So Apple is going to give me $200 to upgrade to an M5 MacBook Air. I've made $200. I'm a genius. Yeah, 13-inch, gotta have midnight, base model, 16 gigs of RAM, never need more than that. Final Cut Pro? Nope. Logic? Nope. Let's add the trade-in. Yeah, good condition. Everything works. $1,220. Look at that. $0 after trade-in. So what happens to the bonus if I don't get something else? I can pick up today my $0 M5 MacBook Air. This is legitimately a free upgrade. And it is, without a doubt, an upgrade. Your credit will be applied to the gift card or balance. If the value of your trade-in was more than the cost of your new device, you'll receive an Apple gift card with the remaining amount. Okay, so if I put this order through, I'm getting a free upgrade to an M5 and $200 on a gift card. I think I can make this even wilder because, I mean, the whole reason I came here was to try to buy a MacBook Neo. Let's add a base model MacBook Neo to the cart. Citrus. Yeah, base model. Yeah, there's my trade-in. AppleCare. Nope. Add to bag. Oh my God. Look at this. Price after trade-in $0. Okay, so apparently... Oh, no, this is not right. Okay, now, remove the trade-in from here. I'm not trading in 2 MacBooks. Okay, $599, $1099, subtotal, $1698, total after trade-in, $634.90. So, essentially, I am buying a 13-inch MacBook Neo in Citrus and getting a free 13-inch MacBook Air midnight with M5. Literally. How is this real? All right. I'm going to place this order, and then we're going to the Apple Store. Right after this quick word about today's sponsor, Delete Me. Today's internet is a weird place. Everything you do and say online is analyzed, chopped up, cataloged, and sold on the open market of data brokers. And it's not just shady advertisers buying this data. Your private info can wind up in the hands of scammers, fraudsters, phishing schemes, and worse, political organizations. Oh look, another political text. This is exactly the kind of thing that Delete Me can help to address. I've been using Delete Me for well over a year now, maybe 2. And they help me control my personal information in ways I was never able to accomplish manually. They constantly scour the internet for my info and report back to me exactly which data brokers and websites have it. And then, well, they delete me. There's even a privacy advisor that I can reach out to at any time. Just look at my listings removed over time. A big spike at the beginning, where they removed the huge amount of data that was just floating out there on me, and then a consistent removal of all the data that keeps popping back up. Get 20% off Delete Me consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/actionretro and use promo code ActionRetro at checkout. Thanks again, Delete Me, for sponsoring today's video. Freaking worked! Alright, so one brand new full price MacBook Neo and one basically free M5 MacBook Air. Wild. I'm quite excited to see this Neo. Ooh, wow. Ooh, it's so green. Alright, well, aesthetically, I kind of freaking love it. Ooh. It's alive. All right, let's get into this MacBook Air. Oh, yes. Ooh, it's lovely. Look at this thing. And wow, side by side, they are very similar. The screen on the M5 MacBook Air is a little bit bigger because it is slightly taller. But other than that, almost exactly as thick as each other. Bezels are about the same. Is it just me, or is this Neo a really good value? I mean, look at these. Paper thin, both of them. Both quality metals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these two have the same exact keyboard because it feels good.
Para usar español.
To use English as the main language,
Oh my God.
press the return key.
Well, that's the first time Siri has legitimately creeped me out. But hey, since we have both of these, I guess let's do a little speed setup comparison. Side by side. All right, country or region, United States. Oh my goodness, look at this. The setup is green to match the finish of the computer. They haven't done matched color user interfaces to the color of the computer, I don't think, since the iMac G3. Amazing. Continue. Ah, well, kind of gotta transfer data onto this thing. I'm really curious to see how well my top spec M1 Max MacBook Pro from 2021 compares to the M5 Air, especially with something like rendering a video. Alright, old MacBook Pro meet new MacBook Air. I actually haven't done a data transfer like this in a long time. It's probably still pretty easy, right? We can still transfer over a cable, right? I hope. I think this should be faster than trying to do it over Wi-Fi. Alright, let's transfer data. Logging out failed. Stupid Epic Games. Alright, transfer data to another Mac. Hello? Oh, there we go, Sean's MacBook Pro. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, hopefully jump cut to this is complete and we can start playing with the M5. Alright, time to do some experiments. We conveniently have 2 copies of the same data on both of these machines, so we can do a little experiment. I want to see how much faster the MacBook Air renders a 4K clip than the M1. We have a 60-second clip I filmed as a cameo for a recent Jeff Geerling video, which I'll link down in the description below because that is also relevant to Apple laptops. But yeah, we are going to set both of these to render at the same time. 4K, H.264, 29.97 frames per second. Don't ask me why, that's just how it was set up when I started, and I never changed it. Alright, we'll just call this Jeff Test. Jeff Test. Alright, I honestly have no idea how this is going to compare, and wouldn't it be hilarious if the M1 Max still did it faster? I think I'd still probably keep this thing. It's quite nice. Anyway, test 3, 2, 1, go! Re-render. Oh my god, stop complaining, DaVinci. Render. Replace existing file. All right, there we go. We're off to the races. Wow, the M1 Max beat it. Look at that. All right, so I accidentally rendered the clip twice, and yeah, this is like 30% slower. It is still rendering the second clip. And done. That's really surprising. You know, one thing that could be affecting this is I installed DaVinci Resolve 20 on here, and this has DaVinci Resolve Studio 20. Maybe if we make these match. Well, it turns out I'm not alone in my surprise here. Mark did a similar comparison between an M1 Max MacBook Pro and an M5 Air, and actually he got the same exact results on video export, where the MacBook Pro still beat the M5 MacBook Air. Interesting. All right, well, honestly, I kind of expected the M5 to keep pace with the M1 Max. I'm pretty surprised that it's significantly slower. I mean, granted, this is built for speed and this is built for portability, and on that front, this is a breath of fresh air compared to this huge, hulking, heavy MacBook Pro. Even though, if you'll remember, we were telling Apple for a long time we wanted these big, bulky laptops back. But I'm kind of falling in love with this one. What would you do? But there's a more important question to answer here, and that is, what am I gonna do with this thing? Yeah, I had a bit of a play around with the Neo, and it's nice, but it's not perfect by any stretch. And that's kind of how it was designed. I mean, it's designed to be low spec, low cost, but still have good build quality. And on that front, I have to say they've done a wonderful job. Although I did find one little niggling problem with quality that I'll show you in a second. But more importantly, I just don't really have the use case for this machine. If we had Asahi Linux that could install on this thing, I would keep it and I would use this as an Asahi test machine. Unfortunately, we don't know when that's going to actually happen because one of the main developers of Asahi apparently left the project. So, yeah, this thing is stuck on macOS for the time being. So I might actually return it. You know, look at this. The paint on these feet, not very durable. I've slid it across this desk like 3 times. And in those 3 times, the paint has started wearing off the feet. Kind of surprising, given that the rest of this machine is quite well built. Metal. Well, I'm at a bit of an impasse. I bought this MacBook Neo because I thought I could hack around with it a bit. Turns out that's not going to be possible for some time. I bought this M5 MacBook Air for free, basically, essentially. And I really thought it was going to keep pace with the M1 Max for video editing, but just have much better battery life and be very light and quiet so I can bring it on the road. However, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. When I bought this thing, I was editing all my own videos, and now I have the most wonderful video editor of them all, which makes this thing make a lot more sense. Quiet, long battery life, and I can still edit video if and when I need to, just 20% slower. What would you do? And while you're thinking about it, in lieu of a big dramatic outro, here's some cats we're fostering that are pretty much ready for adoption. And thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the weird stuff I do. I am so very grateful, and I just could not do this without you.